is I, you, he, she, it, we, they.
Hmm?
So the second I sent you is a printout. You're going to print it out and tape it on one of the walls in your house. You're going to go there
Okay.
every day, look at it, and say that in yourself. Better if you can say it out loud and have your lips moving. If not, say it internally. After 8 days, you will probably have it anchored in your brain and you can move on to the next slot.
Okay.
Okay, great. So now for the record, read those out loud so I can hear your pronunciation.
Okay. Did you email it or did you put it in?
I put it on the Skype chat, so if you access the Skype chat, that should be right there. It's got like jungle leaves and a bunch of text in the middle.
I was looking in the wrong place. Okay. Yeah, so yo, tú, él, ella, es or esto, nosotros, which I don't think they use in Mexico, right? Ellos or ellas. They do. Okay.
Everything I give you is what they use in Mexico. Everything.
Okay. And then ustedes and usted.
Awesome. So how much do you know about the difference between ustedes and usted?
Well, I know one is more formal, but that I only know that intellectually. I don't know the difference.
Okay. Here is the explanation. Spanish has the exact amount of persons like English does. I, you, he, she, it, we, plus one. That plus one is usted. It is a very formal, rigid, uber polite way to address somebody who is A, older than you, B, at a position of power or authority, customs, border patrol, policeman, C, it is somebody who has a higher rank in life, meaning he studied a lot of time, principal, doctor, MD, lawyer, engineer, architect, somebody who's very accomplished, so they would say that to them.
Okay.
And somebody whom you have just met. Technically, by the book, if you just meet somebody, you should address them as usted until the person tells you to stop. And they're like, you can drop the formalities now. Please talk to me informally as you, as tú.
Okay.
What happens in real life is that for foreigners in Mexico, we're not required to have a good handle on all those subtleties yet, especially because when you start using usted, it should be also accompanied by its own little set of verb conjugations and descriptions. Usted, it's kind of its own little universe, and it's the whole little universe comes tagging along after I, you, he, she, and it. Because when you open your mouth and speak, it's very clearly you are not an advanced speaker, you're a beginner. Nobody expects you to know those things. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to leave usted to the very end. You're just going to understand it when you hear it. And right after we build our structure, we're going to put usted like a cherry on top, and everything is perfect. Sounds good?
Okay. Yes.
Awesome. So with that, Spanish does the exact same thing English does. In English, if I look at you, Greg, one single person in front of me, I say you, Greg. If I'm looking at Greg and Aaron and your two children, that's 4 people, I still say you. And you have to learn English to understand one is you plural and one is you singular.
Right.
Spanish, you plural is ustedes. One single policeman is usted. 2 policemen are ustedes. Me and my girlfriend are also ustedes. You see the logical twist here?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the easiest ways to say that is everybody knows what you all mean, and that would be the equivalent of ustedes.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
You all. Yes. Okay.
There you go. Every time you need the plural in Spanish, you're going to say ustedes. It doesn't mean you're being formal. It just means that this one word has 2 meanings. Enough of that for now. That's enough for now. All right. Okay. So your homework task would be to print it, put it on your wall, look at it every day for a week, say it to yourself. It is also very helpful if you can record yourself on your phone running down this list, or just the ones you don't know? Because I'm pretty sure you know how to say tuyo. So record yourself. You can play it while you're driving. That is a nice backdoor way to sneak a lot of information to your brain without actually doing any hard work. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So once you've memorized those, and you definitely want to memorize them within 7 days from now. Otherwise, you're just going to be lost, way lost. It'll be harder on you. It'll take you longer. It's just so much easier to clear those out of the way. The next step is know how to say he, she, M is an R. So I forward this printout right now. You should get it.
Yep.
Okay. Every time you say I, you, he, she, it, whenever you're talking to somebody, you're gonna say one of those, and it's pretty much immediately followed by am, was, will be. That's why we need those. So this is the list that is the equivalent of am, is, and are in Spanish. For present time, am, is, and are. And as you can see, Spanish gives you two choices for each word. What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Okay. In English, am works exclusively with I, is works exclusively with he, she, or it, and are works with the plurals. Agreed?
Yep.
English is fairly easy. You only have 3 of those for present time. Spanish, however, designates a word for each person. They have a word, and I have a word, and etc. And on top of that, it gives you 2 choices. It depends if you're talking about a fixed quality or a temporary position or location. What that means is there is an inherently built-in difference between being a man, being Greg, being American, being somebody's dad and son and brother, versus being hot, tired, sweaty, angry, sad, upset, busy, at the gym, at the kitchen.
Yeah, we covered, I remember these lessons when we went, like last September. So I remember the distinction between the two. I just don't remember the words. I never committed them to enough memory that I still remember them.
Awesome. So this is another handy printout or an image you can even download to your phone and look at it at the dentist line whenever you have 2 minutes to kill. Look at it. The more often you do, the better it goes in there. This is a fairly simple illustration to help you visualize the difference. You got examples in English and Spanish, and the words we choose to refer to it by are very distinct for a reason. Temporary position or location, fixed quality. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So the list, right after you memorize I, you, he, she, it, you want to memorize this list.
Soy and estoy.
Am to on. The reason is because next, by the end of the 3 months, you're going to have 2 more lists, one for past and one for future. And also, these are very powerful keys. At the beginning of you won't understand. You understand about half or less of the conversations around you. There's simply too many words you don't know. Those have very specific meaning, and those words are very distinct. So it's kind of like an anomaly. It spikes if you hear the speech. You can zoom into it and accurately decode what is going on in conversation. If you hear the word for she is, you'll understand we're speaking of a female in present time, etc., etc. Also, later down the road, those things align with the verbs and align with the description words and align with some other things so that everything is in correlation. It's like looking at a train. If I tell you it's a train, you expect to see the locomotive and then some carts, and they all have to be tied in. You're not expecting to see a fountain. Like, it's got to have a certain structure.
Right. Okay.
So those are very powerful keys. And we start off with the first 2 weeks. The first 14 days is typically sufficient. Anchor them in your memory. you want to shorten the amount of time it takes you to think how to say am and how to say is. The more you use them, the quicker that amount of time shortens. Let me say that again. The more you use those, the less time your brain needs to go back and pull that information when you think or talk about it. And when you got that down, it becomes easier to learn the variation for past or future. And those things are quite a big significant part of conversation and comprehension.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So I know you said you're very busy. You don't have time for homework. For that purpose, the recommendation.
I have time for some homework. I just not a ton.
Well, you'll tell me as you progress. I'm sure you'll have more busy weeks, less busy weeks, maybe a project or a deadline. So you'll gouge it and let me know.
Okay.
This thing doesn't require a lot. I mean, you can sit and write it down 1,500 times if that's the way that works for you. If you hate it like me, put it in front of your eyes, look at it every day, say it out loud, record it in your own voice on your phone, play it every day. By the end of the 14 days, you're guaranteed to have it. Awesome. Okay. Next step, we're going to give you a few connection words.
Okay.
Connective words are everything that isn't a person, isn't an action, and isn't a description. If, but, then, also, because. And here is the thing with Spanish. Unfortunately or not, I don't know how to phrase it, but unfortunately, right out the gate, some of the things we need the most useful things, and without you cannot postpone it. You're gonna have to learn it today. Those are confusing, very confusing, and were completely different than how they work in English. That is like the number one way why people, get confused and just quit. So we're going to show you why people quit if they don't learn correctly, and now you're going to have it. So tell me when you receive it.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's confusing. If is the same word as yes? I didn't know that.
See?
Yeah. Pero, and pero, también. Okay.
Okay. Those are fairly straightforward. I mean, I don't think there's any heavy memorization involved here. Because you're gonna have two different printouts, the I am, the am, and the I, you, she. The next step, and I'm very serious about it, don't skip those steps. Next step is you take a Post-it, two different colors. Look at this list. On every Post-it you write one, no more than three, between 2 and 3 words. Literally, yes equals C, if equals C, because equals porque. Put those Post-its on 2 different walls in your house. Same thing, go every day, look at it, say it out loud. Record yourself, say it, play it in your car, 14 days straight, you will get that. And it's one easy way to build your vocabulary, and it's going to get built more and more. Now, give me a few examples. I want you to tell me, I'm at the bank, Erin is at home, the kids are in the pool. If you don't know the Spanish word, just say the English word instead.
Okay. Let's see. Yo en la casa. Erin. I wouldn't say Erin, she. So Erin es la casa? Es in la casa?
Look at your printouts. You don't have to memorize anything today. Look at your printouts and say your sentences correctly.
Okay. Well, I was trying to. So Erin, if I say her name, I don't need to say to, right? Or she. I would say Aaron.
Well, yeah,
Aaron.
you don't have to say he, that's for sure.
So I would say Aaron is in la casa. Is in the
Okay,
is in,
look at the list. Look at the list. What is the Spanish equivalent of is for the location or temporary position?
I'm looking because I can't open them all at once. So
download it into your computer.
Está. Oh, it's está. That's right. So Aaron está in the casa.
Perfect. Now say I'm at the bank.
Estoy in la banco.
Perfect. Now say the kids are in the kitchen.
Están kids in la cucina.
Okay. Cocina.
Cocina. Okay.
Yeah. Very different than Italian. Cocina.
Okay. Cocina. Okay.
Cocina. Perfect. Now say Erin is my wife. That is a fixed quality.
Erin soy mi mujer.
Okay, you just said, Erin, I am my woman.
I was trying to remember the word for wife, but so Erin, okay,
Erin
so soy is me. Soy would be me, not fixed.
No. Don't think about it that way at all. Erase. Soy refers to am.
Am. Ah, okay. Am.
Soy refers to am.
Am. Okay. Okay, so Erin, but it wouldn't be está, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
S,
it would be the
S.
S.
S. Erin S.
Awesome.
Me wife. I don't remember the word. I was thinking mujer, but that's woman.
Esposa.
What is it? Esposa?
Esposa.
Esposa. Okay.
Esposa.
Which is spouse. That works for, is that wife or husband, right? Spouse?
No, there's going to be a male ending for if it's a male or a female ending if it's a female.
So esposo or esposa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like wife and husband are different because the gender is different.
Right.
Esposo is the male, esposa is the female.
Okay.
It actually means handcuffs.
Does it really?
Esposos is handcuffs.
That's hilarious. Okay. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and the word for to marry is the same word they use for to hunt.
Funny. Okay. You learn a lot about a culture by just the way they structure their words.
Yes. Okay. So how are you today, my dear Chain? Did you have a good day? You can say that and crack jokes. How are you today, my dear Ball and Chain? Have you had a good day?
That is funny.
Okay, so the key to this is picking the right one, whether it's fixed quality or temporary location, and either say I, you, or name the actual person and then add location or something.
Right.
Now tell me, the kids are brother and sister. Just, you know what? Sorry. The kids are blonde.
I don't know what kids are, but I'll say they. So, mijos son blonde.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Perfect. Being blonde or a red-haired is a fixed quality.
Right. Okay.
Awesome. Now, this is the connection word, the. So read that out loud.
Yeah. El, la, los, las.
Awesome. The equivalent of the in Spanish would depend if it's male or female, plural or singular.
Okay.
This one is really fairly easy to remember because a lot of things around you, you don't even notice, but they come from this. And here are some examples. Still up. It's still sending here.
Okay.
We had like a lot of rain and it's very cloudy, and those kind of days, it's always a little lengthy. Just
Okay. I see it. Yeah.
So read the Spanish ones out loud, please.
El niño, la niña, los niños, las niñas, el capitán, la playa, Los Angeles, I don't know, Los Angeles? Do you say the L?
Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
Los Angeles. And Las Palomas.
The city of LA is actually Los Angeles, the Angels.
So it's pronounced Angeles. Angeles.
Angeles.
Angeles. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you've met people or heard of them. Their name is Angel. That's a common male name in Spanish.
Yeah, very much, yeah.
So those 4 examples on the bottom, if you ever like get confused, think of them. You've heard each and every one of them 7 million times.
Right.
Awesome. So I'm not gonna be very hard on you, like in the beginning, in the first 2 months, even 3 or even 8, whatever is needed. I'm not gonna care if you make a mistake between male, female, or plural. It's the most common mistakes to make. All the stuff comes together within the end of the first year. You just hear it so much, you naturally course correct.
Okay.
Sometimes I will correct you. I mean, when it's past due, I will. In the beginning, don't even worry about it. If you're overwhelmed or you have some memory challenges, pick 1 or 2 and just master them and move on to the next set afterwards. This is of no consequence. It is very helpful, however, when you do control them fairly well, it's gonna help decode what's going on. If you hear some plural están and you hear los, then it's either males and it's either objects or plural people and etc., and the whole thing is in present time. So like 40, 50, 60% of the sentence already is clear, even though you may not know the other 20% of the words.
Okay.
All right, good. Now tell me, the kids are at school.
So están están in la school. I don't remember.
Awesome. Beside the word school, you actually know each and every word in the sentence. So look at your printouts or download them and have them on half screen and Skype on the other half and actually say the whole thing proper.
Okay. Hold on, I just have to open them. They don't. Skype does not act like, so I use WebEx or Zoom every day, and Skype does not act like them. So give me a second here.
No. For our purpose, Skype is actually a bit easier than Zoom. I've tried Zoom, and this is easier to navigate. But no problem. I can email them to you too if that's quicker.
Well, I just have to be able to. Just give me 1 second. I saved them to, but.
No worries. I'll just forward it again. It's going to flash on the screen.
No, I've got them. The problem is being able to get it so that I can see it, so that I can open them separately. Okay. So how would I say the kids? Because I know I'm saying, when I say están, I'm saying they are, but that's not really what I want to say. I want to say, I want to say the kids, or do I say my kids?
You know, if it's the first time you ever met me, you can talk of my kids. If I'm your neighbor and I drop by every week for a pool party, you're just going to call them the kids, like you do in English.
Right. So
the answer to your question is on the very last image I sent you.
Los niños, so it would be los
Exactly.
niños. Los niños en la, God, the word for school is right on the tip of my tongue. School.
Okay, and you actually missed the word are from your sentence, so say the whole thing again, please.
You're right. I don't remember R.
No problem.
I'm looking through these and I don't.
Okay, look at the chat. I just typed it in. Just the text.
Los niños están en la school. Okay.
Okay.
Is it school? Is it school in Spanish?
Escuela.
Escuela. That's right. Escuela. Okay.
This is one example out of many. If I'm your neighbor and you invited us to a barbecue party or a pool party, and I don't speak in English, and let's say I'm like, hey, Greg, where's the wine opener? Like, oh, it's on the table over there. Or, Greg, where's your salt? The salt is in the top cupboard on the left. Or, where's the steak knives? Where are the napkins? Where are the bathrooms? The bathrooms are blah. The steak knife is at blah. Replace the word kids in school with anything else you might need in life. And that is the formula you insert the words into.
Okay. So,
okay, now tell me this. The wine is on the table. And if you don't know something, say it in English.
Los wine, because I don't think it's vino.
No, well, then it's not going to start with los. It's not going to start with los because it's one single thing. It's not plural things. Agree?
Oh, yes. El wine están not in, well, in la mesa, but it's not in, it's on.
Yeah, I'll tell you that in a second, but it's not están, that's for sure.
Okay.
Try again. The wine is. What is the proper is for location?
don't know.
El vino. Vino is wine.
Okay.
The, singular. El vino está is location. En la mesa.
So it is still in la. So in would be for either in or on.
En is either inside, or at. You know, in English, they tell you, if you're teaching me English and I say, oh, I'm in the beach, you'd correct me. Because
Right.
technically I'm at the beach and at the store.
Right.
Spanish doesn't have that. Spanish would use the word en, which is, it's in the fridge, on the beach, inside my pocket.
Okay. All right. So that word works for everything then, or for all those cases.
Yeah. At, on, and inside. Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, good. Do you know how to say hot and cold?
Caldo and no. Okay. No, then I don't.
No worries. Well, caldo is a really nice word. It means soup.
Okay.
If you're not careful, we're gonna rent you out for parties. We're gonna take you all over town every other night, and you're gonna be the guest of honor.
Exactly.
Frio.
Frio. Okay.
Now tell me. By the way, do you know how to make a negative sentence in Spanish?
No.
Very easy. All you have to do is start your sentence with no.
Okay.
No frio would mean no cold, not cold.
Okay.
The way to make a negative is start the sentence with a no. Now tell me, now tell me this, and you know every single word in it. The beer is not cold. Literally place an English word underneath, a Spanish underneath every English word. I'll type it.
El cerveza es no frío.
Awesome. Perfect. Minor correction. If you want to make a negative, not cold, not hot, not possible, you start with no and the description follows.
Okay. So I would say no el cerveza no frío.
No, because you can't start with the description. You have to tell me what object you're talking about.
Okay.
Again, barbecue party at your house. Hey Greg, do you have any more Corona beers? Yeah, but it's not cold. Do you want something else, or do you want some ice with your beer? That would be something you say. The beer isn't cold yet. The food isn't ready. The steaks, whatever.
Okay.
La cerveza no está fría.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to type it on the Skype. Because I'm on my phone on the cellular data in case we get cut off again. I'm typing things on my computer because all my files and printouts are here. So that's why you see the camera moving, because I'm like.
Okay.
So again, la cerveza no está fría.
La cerveza no está fría. Okay, so the beer not is cold.
Is not cold.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. You are right. No is cold. The beer no is cold.
Okay.
If you ever heard Latinos in the States, visitors or residents, you hear them speak funny. Latinos has a very distinct way of speaking.
I was just saying that. I was just thinking, I hear this all the time. Yeah.
It's because they translate the sequence the order of the words from their language to this, and in the other language it's crossed.
Right. Okay.
Which is fine. Okay. So this is, I would recommend do some homework. Ergo, write down 5 to 10 sentences using all this stuff, because that the more you practice it, the more you understand it and recall it. And
Yeah.
you can come up with some phrases you'll say next time you're here. You know, you'll talk to your gardener, you talk to the night guard, talk to the maid, talk to the guy in the fruit and veggie shop, whatever you're going to want to tell them, right? The bananas are too soft, the potatoes are too whatever. Just try and make those.
Okay.
Let's do more before we go.
Okay.
Okay, so I did Frio and I did no. I'll put this on your progress report. Read this.
El vino es frío, meaning the wine is cold.
Okay. Awesome. The wine is cold. These sentences, as simple as they are, you can use them as formula. Insert potato salad instead of wine, and I don't know, fresh, not fresh instead of cold. You
Right.
get a bunch more combinations. Next step, over the next few weeks, we're going to give you a whole bunch of description words.
Okay.
Description is what, it kind of like is the glue that puts everything together. It's useless to hear that your dinner was great, or the breakfast was expensive, or the day was beautiful and sunny, because without those words, it has no meaning. Description words, there are a lot in any language, and so we're breaking down to segments and drip feed them. I can't like dump 105 of them on you, and you're just not going to really remember them all.
Right.
Do you recall that every description word in Spanish would have 4 possible endings: male, female, plural, multiple females only?
I never knew that. I never got to that.
So on the one hand, it's not so good news, because you, like, every single word you think you know, it blooms to like 4 different words. And if you want to learn 10, you're actually looking at 40. That's not good news.
Right.
On the second hand of that, it correlates with everything else in the sentence. It's got to align. So you, in the beginning, you may not speak 100%. On the other hand, when you're listening to somebody or something, a movie, a neighbor talking, you'll hear them. And if you thought you understood something, there is a way for you to step back and verify. If you thought you understand they're talking about his sister, it's gotta be like she, and feminine description words, a lot of other things have to align. If it doesn't align, then you understood something wrong. You can ask clarifying questions or look at other elements of the sentence to draw information from.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, Spanish is easier than English, because you can compensate about a lot on things you don't know by looking at the other stuff that's going on. If 60% of the sentence is about a male, we're not talking about my sister. Make sense?
Right. Right. Okay.
So I'm going to give you, for the record, I'm going to give you the description word cold in all the 4 possibilities.
Okay. Frio, fria, frios, frias.
Excellent. So do you think you'll have time to write down sentences and read them to me next?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And,
awesome.
You know, these basic, I mean, the first part of this, the am, is, are, soy, estoy, I did this. It's been 6 months and I completely forgot. I've done nothing for 6 months and it all fell out of my head. So
okay. 2 things. Approach this as if you were teaching me English. The name basics is deceiving. Yeah, we all start from the basics. The point is, I can't speak English if I don't know how to say everything I just showed you today.
Right.
Agreed?
Right.
Next, knowing them intellectually or being aware of their existence is useless without the access to that information. If the consequence is you stalling every sentence and every word, and it takes you 10 minutes to say something and you don't recall and you're embarrassed, you may know it on some level, but it's no good if you don't access it fast enough. That makes
Right.
sense? That's
Yes.
what you want to do. The goal is to have you access that stuff fast enough, because you just walk around with a book everywhere.
Totally.
All the stuff is in the book.
Yeah. Or these days
Awesome.
with your smartphone, Google Translate.
I'm going to tell you a quick story and then I'll let you go. One of my
Okay.
former students, he was 74 at the time. He's now 77. He was in the cruise. Very nice man. His name is John from Oroville, Northern California. Engineer, worked on the dam all his life. John wanted to learn Spanish because he was dating a very nice Spanish lady. He went to the store to buy matches for his stove. He looked up the Google Translate, the word for matches. Google Translate is a machine. It would give you whatever Spanish word that was put into it. But the words between Spain and Colombia and every Spanish-speaking country has different words. So he looks at the very nice 17-year-old local girl and he says the Google word. She doesn't know the Google word. John tries and tries. He goes home with no matches. The girl didn't know that the particular word Google Translate gave. So that is a real case, real life story. Don't be like that. Go get your matches.
Oh, definitely.
Google Translate
Definitely.
has a very limited capability.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Okay. All right. See you next week. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.